Shalom. I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baharuka Kadash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all your Akim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and truth. Shalom. So this video I want to go into an article that I posted. I believe I posted it yesterday. Could be the day before, I'm not sure. But it's about a place that places also how you call the communities. They got flags, and this about they getting a new flag, and it's funny because it's actually showing, to the spirit of Yahweh, Basham Yahshua, everything shall be revealed, and we know that our people, back then, years ago, were converted, in the medieval, so-called medieval times, our people who were converted to Islam, used to rule in Europe, in Europe and in Spain, yeah, which is also Europe, Morocco, that region there, North Africa. We over there, we used to have this headquarter, and that's also where that thing that they celebrate here in Holland, every year concerning the Black Pete, now more and more people they start to go for light skin, so-called light skin Pete, or Pete with some suit stripes on the face, things like that. Because people basically be fed up because they've been marking us, the so-called Negroes, we've been marked in that time when it's Sinterklaas time, Satan class time. But if you check the clothing style, and I'm gonna go into that later, you can see that it goes back to the Moorish people, Let me just get into this article. Marken gets new flag, controversial Moorish head disappears. Marken will soon officially get a new flag to the controversial Morenkop as the goat of arms, and that means Moorish face, Moorish head. As the coat of arms is called by the inhabitants, will be replaced by an adapted version. So, and it's funny, but that's also Esau. Always, I said that's Esau, lying and try to twist the truth, and basically distract you, from what it really is. The old coat of arms, a caricatured depiction of a black man, dates from 1925, and it was controversial last year in Monnikendam, the Battle of the Zuiderzee. So this is, Sealand, The Battle of the Zuiderzee was celebrated in June 2023 with coats of arms of the various municipalities being painted on pillars. The flag of Marken caused a stir both in the village and on social media. It evoked association with the history of slavery, and that's the fun part. It got nothing to do with slavery. This is, I got several pictures, of Moorish people, and show you, that those in those times, that's the way that we used to dress. This was before slavery, We used to rule before we went into slavery. We used to rule, man. We used to rule here in Europe, especially in Europe, England, in Holland, there are many castles, many places here in Holland where you can find castles. And we know that our people, the Moorish people, though those were the ones who built those castles and used to live in those castles. And you can see the same style. If you go check Spain and all that, you can see the same style. Basically all over the world, you can see the same style. You can see that there's our people who used to build like that, And those buildings are strong. You can see this; they still standing, While you got new houses that already, I said as soon as a year already start cracking up and all that, That's also a thing that should let you understand these devils, they can do shit because they want to proclaim that they were the people that used to live in these castles, They got this thing going on in Holland. They call it LARPen. When they're gonna dress up in medieval wear and they're gonna fake fight with swords, having swords fights and all that shit. And playing battles and all that. But those were the times that they were in the caves, man. They weren't in the castles, man. Yeah, yeah, at a certain point they took us over. We went into slavery, and then they start putting themselves in the castles, but they didn't build shit. So why? You also gotta imagine why were they? How could they back then building good stuff, and now they can't anymore? That also should show you something. And also, I remember when I was younger, you have a castle in near Amsterdam, Muiderslot. And I was on elementary school. I don't remember exactly how old I was. We went to a family member. We had some a cousin of my mother or something was living in Almere, or was Lelystad? No, Almere. And so we went there one day, and I was looking at the clothing, because they had these dolls with the clothing of from back then, and I was looking at, and I thought to myself, I always wondering, and now I understand, because then I was wondering, like, how was it possible for them to know, because they portray themselves in those harness and all that, and you see the clothing style from back then, and you see that the colors, the clothing style was matching. And nowadays, if well, nowadays, but if you look in general, if you look at the Edomites, they can dress shit. They try to copy and all that, but you can see, you know, concerning colors and all that, a lot of times they fuck up. They fuck up. Jake, by nature, we know how to dress. Jacob descendants. By nature, we know how to dress. You know, And so I was always wondering, like, and I was looking at my children in my classroom, and like, how was it possible? Even if you got this old history books, you see paintings, but they paint themselves, But that's also, yeah, it's also being described in the scriptures, the book of Job 9:24 talk about that, that they put on everything they put a white face, so-called white face. So how I say that. So I was wondering while I was looking at the children in my class, like, okay, how is it possible that back then, during history class, I'm like, okay, how is it possible that y'all back then knew how to dress yourself, and now you don't know, Didn't never make sense to me, but now I understand it was never them. We were ruling over them. That's also where this whole Sinterklaas thing comes from, because those were the things, the story goes about, if a child is bad, then Black Pete comes, he comes with Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas, the old ass Edomite with wearing the same thing as the Pope on his head, basically, with the big staff. And, they had the Black Pete's, and they were basically, they had like a bundle of sticks, not the one that you burned, but they had a bundle of sticks, small sticks, basically to beat the children if they were bad, and they were teaching the children, like, if you are bad, then Black Pete will come to get you, put you in the bag, and bring you to Spain. But those were the things that our people used to do back then. They used to capture the so-called white people, especially in Holland. They used to do that. They came by boat and came by shore and grabbing children and females, bring them to their bathhouses, in Turkey and all that, even in Spain, of course, they had their headquarters there. Bring them to bathhouses, shave them, clean them, because our people, those people back then, until this day, they were filthy. This Book of Job also speaks about that, violent than the earth, and that's who they are. Until this day, they are still, especially here in Holland, almost daily you see an article about how long should you shower. Is it is it should you shower every day, this and that. Of course you should shower every day, because you sweat every day. Your skin, always got some is shedding out those old skin. So, and you're always sweating, like, yeah, of course you need to shower every day, but they do so-called investigations, like, yeah, it's better to shower once a week or twice a week, this and that. 5 minutes is enough. In 5 minutes my whole body is not even wet. But yeah, kind of drifting. But yeah, so back then they used to grab those females and those children and basically clean them up and sell them to the Arabs, to the Ishmaelites. That's what they used to do back then. So even on that is some truth in there, but they don't want that to come out. And our people are only focused on the fact like, oh, is they mocking us? Yeah, of course they're mocking us, but that's also part of the curses. The scripture, the book of in Deuteronomy, it says, thy shall become a byword. So a proverb. So it's part of the curses. It's Deuteronomy. Let me grab that real quick because I'll be quoting a lot of scriptures and I need to read them too. Let me see. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahweh shall lead thee. So that already shows you that it's part of the curses. But nevertheless, to the spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahshua, we know the truth. More and more things being revealed to us. So now you understand that our people used to rule there. So this thing that they say, this got nothing to do with slavery, you know. And you got multiple flags, I believe Sardinia, multiple places and countries that they have a Moorish hat on it, and that's basically showing. It's showing that we used to rule there, and of course, this devil Esau before, and especially these Dutch Edomites, they were very good in hiding a lot of stuff. Meanwhile, it turns out, for as far as I see them as the most wicked Edomites in comparing with the other Edomites. Since they being the first one who sent a ship with slaves from the west coast of Africa to America. These Dutch Edomites also happened to be the last one to stop with slavery. When the other Edomites stopped, they quit slavery. These Dutch Edomites continue for at least another 10 years. They were also the most horrible. For what I know, especially on the Caribbean, they were the most horrible. They had the Spaniards there, they had the Portuguese there, they had the French there, and they had the English there. The Dutch came, and they were the worst. So that also shows me something. So let me go back to the article. So about the flag, it evoked associations with the history of slavery. So this got nothing to do with slavery. Meanwhile, you had the king, King Willem Alexander, and right now, his mother also, Beatrix, which is now princess Beatrix. She used to be the queen of Holland. So she used to drive around in a golden couch with slaves on it. You even had a depiction of a slave on a big hook, and that's something that they used to do in Suriname. If a slave didn't listen or whatever, they just wanted to torture a slave. They just would grab a big hook and place it under his rib. I believe even the fifth rib, if I'm correct. And hang him on the tree. If he survived, leave him hanging like a big fishing hook. And if he survived that, he would survive that. I would like to show the picture, but as soon as I start to show pictures concerning slavery, then YouTube, who is owned by these small heads, these big nose people, then they gonna say it's hate speech. Meanwhile, it's history. I did a video showing took a picture of a book, without sanctuary. Those are things that they used to do with our people, man. Those are postcards that they used to send to each other about lynchings and all that. But yeah, it put people on to hate. No, man, it's revealing your wickedness. That's the whole thing about. Same thing as this got nothing to do with slavery, man. No, it shows us that our people used to rule there. It evoked associations with the history of slavery. That's why the organization of the event decided to remove the image In 2023, such an image would spoil the festivities people thought the chairman said at the time. At the time, the organization thought it was a small effort to remove the image if people would not feel offended, but it led to anger and disbelief among several markers. According to them, the coat of arms had nothing to do with slavery, and they are right. But they don't know how right they are because they might think something wickedly still, because never trust our enemy. These devils, they are created to be wicked. So, you know, if they would understand that this is just a sign, basically something that shows us that our people used to rule there, then they immediately want it to change because they don't want to accept the fact, you know, don't even want to think that that is possible that our people used to rule there. That's not something that they would like, man. Nah, man. And you also got to know, don't forget, we still at the bottom, we still the tail. But if you as a people understand that you used to rule these devils, then most likely a riot would come, and they know that our people are strong and all that, don't forget how they always, when our people start to protest, how they come with the military, they don't come to fight man to man. They coming with heavy machinery, that's what this devil's been doing, man. So let me see. But it led to anger and disbelief among several markers. According to them, the coat of arms had nothing to do with slavery. Eventually, a compromise was found at the organization, put the coat of arms back, but a gold-colored version of it. Yeah, of course. And if I scroll to the top, you see that they make it look like an Edomite. They just whitewash it in front of your eyes, man. In front of your eyes. It goes from this to this. See that? Okay. Because the commotion, the Eilandraad, the village council of Marken, had research done into the origin of the coat of arms. Art historian Jan Schild did that, but found no clear answer. Of course, the same way that they teach you in school, like, yeah, y'all came from Africa, went into slavery, and now you're here. No, but why were we in Africa? Well, our people fled from Roman persecution. They took over Israel, they took over Jerusalem, they were putting our people in slavery, slaughtering us. So we fled, among the Hamites who were living in Africa because they had the same color. So that was the way for us to hide, you know. But those things they don't teach you. And of course, he found no clear answer. Ain't that a bummer? Despite this, the island council decided earlier this year to change the coat of arms. An earlier version of the image, which was in use from 1862 till 1925, was considered more appropriate. A local graphic designer created five variations with this image. Residents go to the polls. Markers were able to vote on which variant they like best via an online survey. 464 people filled out the survey. Of these, a majority of 245 votes went to the design that matched the current flag in terms of color and background. This officially makes the new flag known. It will be officially put into use in September. The intention is for the old flag to disappear from the street scene. Yeah, try to hide the history. Case from Altena of the Island Council thinks that the coat of arms will continue to be called Morekop on the islands for the time being. That is ingrained, he tells the regional broadcaster NH. We try to say Morenhoofd or Moriaanshoofd, but you can't change that now. Maybe it will change over time. And that's also the thing, Moriaantje, Moriaanshoofd, that, there used to be a song during kindergarten, and I never understood it. I saw the picture thereof, you see dark, a very dark, even close to black, painted child, so-called Moorish child, a Jacob child, Jacob descendant, with the afro, walking with a parasol, under the sun. And they have a song about him. Thou shalt become a proverb. See that? This devil man. And I also had a couple of pictures concerning what I said concerning the Black Pete thing. So here you have the Black Pete. You see that? So you have the Black Pete, and now they make suit peach. So they put some suit wipes on the face and this and that, make it light. They even had purple peach and all that nonsense going on. But let me see. And here you have the Moorish. This is a paint form painting, and there you can see it. It's the clothing style. You know, of the Moorish. And a lot of the numbskulls, they don't know it. They just see it as a time to mock because they were acting stupid, talking with a Suriname accent. And basically clowning around, because that's how they want to look at us, and that's what they do. But yeah, I'd be like, yeah, man, let them do whatever they want to do, because eventually they are gonna go into captivity, and after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, the so-called white people, they're gonna be exterminated. They're gonna be done away with. So let them have their fun. And the kingdom of Yasharallah is gonna be forever, man. Let them have their fun. Like the scripture said, he is in rulership right now, but it's only a season. In comparison to forever is nothing, man. It's really nothing. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah, that's what this devil be doing, speaking lies. Oh yeah, that coat of arms, it resembles slavery. It got nothing to do with slavery, man. It shows us that our people used to be in rulership, and you are going down. That's what it shows. It's the book of Obadiah, and verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? Yeah. To this power and spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. His kingdom is coming to an end, so all his filth is coming to the top. It's being exposed. This devil's being exposed on all sides, big time. Funny, man. See a lot of stuff going on. So this is the book of Luke chapter 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed among the housetops. So everything is coming to the light, So he might tell you this and might tell you that, but to the spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahshua, we know, we already see through this devil, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Basham Yahushai, Baharuka Kudash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Yakim across the earth, doing his work in city and truth. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.